Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a Houston Texans draft recap. This is a really fun draft that I'm going to enjoy talking about today. And we're on to page 2 of the ESPN thing. All the teams before the Texans videos are out. I guess before Houston alphabetically. And before we get into it, I would like to remind you to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Texans fans especially, comment down below what you think of the draft and who your favorite player from it was. But without any further ado now, let's get into the video. So, Texans, we're using the ESPN generator here. Let's see how they address their needs. They needed edge, defensive end. Did not do that, but they got tackle, guard, safety, running back, and a lot more. So their first pick, as you know, highest corner taken since Jeff Okudah, but Jeff Okudah is like the only other corner who's gone top 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. Derek Stingley, so much potential. Everybody talks about, that 2019 tape and how, the injuries have kind of drilled him, which is true. But, I'm a Sauce Gardner, is my CB1 kind of guy, but Derek Stingley is so good. And I think this was a great pick for them as they're trying to build for the future. Again, this is not their contending year. Who knows? They could have a crazy, out of nowhere season, but I don't think this is their year. And I think they're building for the future. And a guy with as much potential as Derek Stingley is a guy definitely worth taking. So, very happy with that pick. Then in the second round, they got Kenyan Green from Texas A&M. Very versatile offensive lineman and an absolute mauler, to put it frankly. I think he's so good. I think this was great value at 15. Higher than a lot of people would have had him, certainly. But I think he's a very good player, and I think he's going to be a great offensive lineman in Houston. Again, he's really safe to me, and I think he's going to do such good things. Then, with pick 37 in the second round, they got Jalen Petrie, or Petre. I think it's Petrie, but I could be completely wrong. Let me know. I made a film room on him. That should be out by the time this video is. It might not be, honestly. I'm stacking him up, and he is like the 6th one I've stacked up so far. Spoiler alert. So a lot of those coming. So Jalen Petrie is a guy I'm really interested in. And honestly, a lot of these guys in the class, I think I might end up making a video on just them specifically because their class has so many players that I like as players. I value and whatever, and maybe they don't end up panning out. But I just love a lot of these players. From Thomas Booker to Damien Pierce to Christian Harris to John Mechie, who is not a super high-ranked receiver for me, but I think he's really interesting. Same with Petrie, Green, and Stingley. So I love this class. A little spoiler alert, but Petrie. Again, hopefully if the video is not already out, watch that. But I like him. I think he has a lot of potential. He needs to get better at not overcommitting. I think he had a lot of problems with that. But he plays with such explosiveness, so downhill. And I really, really like him. Even though I don't think he's all there yet, I just love his potential. Then they got John Mechie a lot earlier than people thought he would go. I wouldn't have taken him this high. I like John Mechie, but he's exactly what they need. He fits Houston's culture so well. And while I think guys like George Pickens and Skyy Moore were probably better because this is at 44 I believe in the second round. And George Pickens went at 52 and Skyy Moore went at 54. I like both of those guys better. I think they're gonna be better, but I think this is a good spot for Mechie. They're gonna love him. He's gonna be good. He's not super risky, and I think he's gonna be very consistent and very dependable for Davis Mills or whoever Davis Mills' successor is. Then they got his teammate, Alabama linebacker Christian Harris, a guy that has really showed that he can be elite, and he ended his college career on such a high. He was playing the best football of his career right towards the end. I think, those last 2, maybe 3 games, he was playing on a whole nother level. So if he can keep that up, he can be an elite linebacker. We'll see. He still has things to fix, but I think this is great value, and I think he's going to be a very good player, especially, again, with time to develop. Then in the 4th round, they got very interesting player in Damien Pierce. Kind of built like a Mike Tolbert. I've heard that comparison. I think that's kind of fun. Really interesting running back who I think can be very good in their system. He's going to get a lot of touches. Might be a great fantasy pickup for any fantasy players out there. I like him a lot. I think he's very talented, and I think this was a good pick for the 4th round. Then the 5th round, they got Thomas Booker. Very good defensive tackle who is just, I think he was undervalued this year, and I think he's going to be a really good player in Houston. I think he, again, fits their culture that they're looking for so well, trying to kind of reset, because Houston has not been great these last few years. Then they got Teagan from Oregon State. I'm not going to butcher his last name. I don't want to do him like that. Big tight end, good size, length, and not a ton of speed, but I think he's going to be a good blocker and hopefully a possession guy from the tight end position. And then they got Austin Deculus, the tackle from TCU. Ton of experience in the SEC, and I think he's just very, very solid. Not a crazy guy, but I think for the 6th round, I think it was good value, and I think he can be very solid player, probably a good swing tackle in the NFL. Overall, though, love this draft. Thought the Texans killed it on about every front, and would love to know what Texans fans think of it. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. This is probably like an A, or maybe even better to me. The Texans knocked this out of the park. Love all these picks. Probably a lot of videos on them. Again, stay tuned for Jalen Petrie video coming soon, and let me know what other players I should talk about down below. But with that, I am going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.